Today I'm going to discuss the runestone, Tiwaz. Very, instead of its historic Viking name, if I had to just give a name and discuss the runestone, this runestone means God. How does an arrow mean a god? You can check that by reading my article, The Seesaw. If you also watch my vlogs on my other channel, which is Tarot Bloom, which I put every Wednesday, you will understand and know how I am the entity called God. So, you know, I want to talk about certain things and how this world is starting to lose its mind, and it just angers me no end. So, I will come to one Narayan Murthy. Narayan Murthy is the founder of this very big tech company, Infosys. And at some point, he said people should work 70 hours a week, which means you should work about 10 to 12 hours in a day, and then it adds up to 12 hours a day, and then it adds up to 70-hour work week. I've done a lot of vlogs on this topic, and because I'm discussing the runestone, which is Tiwaz or God, I will discuss this some more. Now, I am the entity called God, and let us say people come to me and say, but I'm not making money, but I'm not making money, but I'm not making money. And there's only one person who's saying, I'm making billions and billions, and I want to extract more and keep making billions. There's only one person in this world who's making money, which is Narayan Murthy. What should I do? I very well traveled all over India, and once I planned a trip very far off in Arunachal. And if you're going to Arunachal, you need to go very well prepared for your trip. One, you're going very far down, and then the lot of paperwork which is included. So I went in this trip to Arunachal, and we are all packed up in a jeep, which is ideally, if it has a three-seater seat, they will pack four people in it, and if there is a two people seat, they will pack three people in it. So the word jam packed is the most appropriate for this ride that I took. It started early morning about 6:30, and we reached Arunachal at 7:30, which was about half full day, almost full day travel. And when I was sitting in that jeep, which I think was a bolero, not a bolero, it was one of these jeeps, which does a lot of these trips up and down. I forget the name, which jeep it is. I felt pinched on my hands and legs from both the sides, because we were all four people who were sitting in a space for three. We were sitting jam packed. You couldn't move a hand, you couldn't move a leg, and this is how we traveled. Why is nobody thinking about quality of life? Everybody is dying with lack of jobs, no incomes, hardly anything to eat. Still, we are making laws which will make our situations bad. Somebody says same sex marriages should not be allowed. LGBT marriages should not be allowed. One, these are adults. They want to marry. A woman wants to marry a woman, let her. A man wants to marry a man, they can. And whatever other combination is going on, they can. They want to marry in the religious places also, allowed. Don't worry, a priest will come and officiate your wedding. Only thing I will not allow is children. You cannot bring children into this world if they are not born biologically. So if a man can fuck a man and have a child, then so be it. The truth is they can't. Then so be it as well. A woman wants to fuck a woman and not have a children. Good for the society. Please go ahead, live your life the way you like. Good part of the population will get filtered out like this. We don't need a burden of excessive people and population being born. World over, LGBT union should be legal. They want to marry in churches, in temples, and wherever else, worship places, allowed. Only thing is not allowed is having children. Don't worry about the old age. Government will look after it. This is how the fucking government has to think. Continuing with my trip. So I get off at wherever I have to get off. And then someone had written a price for their stay. And when I went there, the pictures and the place don't match. And I've had these experiences so many times that picture of the place is something else. And when you go, the reality is something else. That I've stopped getting angry. I started laughing. I said, what picture have you put? And this person says, who put these pictures? Ye picture kisne lagai? We don't even know who's put these pictures. Can you beat that? I started laughing. I said, very nice, very nice. I've stopped getting angry. Because the place I went to was in under construction property where they put a tarp on a cemented place, and it's just as bad as it gets. But when you're a backpacker, you've slept a lot of roughness. Only what I found funny is when you have a place like this, how can you put a beautiful place with sofa set, TV, geyser and all of that, hot water, and you look at the property and you're like, ye kya hai? What is this? And then the funny part is the owner or the person who's running the place is saying, ye photo kisne dali? Ye photo kisne dali? I said, acha hai, nice. No matter what you are faced with, you will never get angry. If you've traveled and lived a lot of life, people have a lot of anger issues, a lot of controlling issues, because they haven't lived much life. They always lived a good life. Wherever you go, everything is ready, everything is waiting. Hot and piping hot soup is waiting, food is waiting. I've been to places where you go, there's nothing, and then you have to start cleaning the place, start cooking also, and you also cook for the host के लिए तुम्हारे लिए भी बना दिया कोई बात नहीं. When will people stop having anger issues, controlling issues? When they start traveling. Now Narayan Murthy says everybody should be working 70-hour work week. And cred ka Kunal Shah. CEO says this is the only way we can beat China. Who the fuck is China? What the hell do I give a flying fuck about China? I will go there also since I'm an entity called God. But first you fix your mind. Why are you living in a comparison? Who told you to beat China? So then I come out of this place where the picture is something else. Place is absolutely nowhere close to what the pictures are. But they were very funny lot. And in backpacking, you just start laughing, You don't get angry anymore. Ki kya hai ye, Then I went asking in some other places, lodge, guest house, hotels, if they have a room. And it's a night time. I've just reached at 7:30. And at 8 I'm starting to ask. And I don't have much money with me. You're traveling very budgeted. And no matter how much money you keep aside, when you're traveling, you'll end up spending double of that. Or even more. So I go to these couple of hotels and they're like 2,600, 3,000 for a day or night. Because I was going to stay for 2 days. And I said, there's no way I'm spending 2,600 or something. It's just too much money. And then I saw one small place, not small, but it's a decent size small hotel. And I asked the owner what is the price he can give me the room for. And he said, I can't give you anything less than 1,000. I said, see, I want to stay for 2-3 days. Can you make it less? He said, no. Then I went around other places and I was shocked that they're exorbitant. And they were beautiful hotels, People are charging for the value they're offering. Then I came back to the same place where I asked and he said 1,000 is the last. And then luckily he agreed and he made it 800 or something. You know what is the sad part? He had more than 15 rooms in his guest house. All were empty. I want to ask Narayan Murthy, are you the only one who wants to make money? Is doing coding, software programming is the only job in this world what everybody should do? If everybody is going to work 70-hour work week, when the fuck will they travel? When will these guest house owners, hotel owners make money? Why is the government not thinking like this? Now, for everything, Narendra Modi says, let's, make an airport. The number of airports he's making is unbelievable. You don't need so many airports, sir. All you need to do is make working days 6 months in a year. But I think half a year is little too less. Make it 8 months. Everybody will work only for 8 months in a year. 4 months everybody is compulsorily on leave. Everybody in this world needs to make money. The cab guy wants to make money. Bus driver also wants to ride a bus at least full of people or as many routes. There are more jobs for bus people. And control the fucking population. Don't force people to keep having children if they don't want to. Make life of people who are single very, very easy and attractive in a way that people say it's better to be single than married. You can't have forcing people to push and keep having children and then say सबके लिए अभी economic development करो, keep making airports. Narendra Modi is taken a liking to making airports like as if, and he's forcibly taking land from farmers and people and doing his economic development shit. You don't need economic development. You need to give people livelihood and good life. Everybody only work 8 months in a year. 4 months everybody go travel, holiday, everything. And then everybody should only work for 4 hours a day. So whoever is working 9 to 1 can have one side of the cubicle to keep his files or whatever. And whoever comes next, which is 2 to 6, will have a cubicle on the, some drawers on the other side and can work the other half day like that. Nobody should work for more than 4 hours a day. Then you will have your cafes brimming with people, people eating out, happy people. You're working for people, not for fucking money. What happened to everybody's common sense? Bill Gates says, I used to keep working 24/7. The only time I realized I should take vacation and stay at home was when I had a child. Thankfully, everybody doesn't think like Bill Gates. And they don't have to have a child to think now I can relax and enjoy my life. People are already doing that from their youth. Everybody needs employment. Once I went to this place, it was top in the mountains somewhere, and I did sightseeing. And as I'm walking, there's a bike rider, he comes and stops behind me. And he says, I will drop you to, there was a place I had to climb up, hike up. And he said, I can drop you there for 50 rupees. I was really tired because I'd done a 3-hour bus ride. Then I'd walked some 5 kilometers, then eaten something. And again, I had to walk for another 3-4 kilometers. And it was a hike. And normally, I don't mind climbing up. I can normally easily walk 25 to 30 kilometers in a day. It's like a breeze. Sometimes I don't even come to know I've walked so much. So this bike rider says for 50 rupees I can drop you till the top. I said okay. So I gave him a 50. When I got off, he said I can also do sightseeing for you. I can show you around. You can see a cave. There's a far off place there. This, that. I said, give me your number. People are not evil. They are not con men who are trying to, rape a woman or they are trying to steal something. Everybody is trying to make a fucking living. If you don't send tourists, how are people going to make money? Should everybody be sitting and doing your software and coding work? Being a guide is a work. Anybody can become a guide to the place they stay in. They don't need a license, and then the shit of a government will show up and say, hame GST chahiye. And then they will blow up all the money to fly a fucking rocket and they want to go to the moon. Look at what nonsense politicians are doing. What nonsense these billionaires are doing. Enlightenment will not come to you all, There may be more enlightened people sitting in regular population just trying to make common sense or, make sense of the nonsense that is going on. Next day, a very old man came because I told them I want to go trekking the whole day. He was a very old man. His bag was torn. I felt so sad, I gave him 1,000 rupees. In my world, I felt it was very less, considering it was a whole day trek that we did. But they are hardly making money. Nobody who's going trekking, nobody who has a holiday. People who make money get locked up like this. And by the time they will come out of their corporate jobs, they will be deceased. Somebody has a heart problem. Somebody's gone there, done their some eye surgery to remove the specs so they can't take the sun. Some can't walk because their knees have started hurting. Some can't walk because they have a blood pressure problem. This is what the bastardized billionaires are doing. So the guide should not make any money. Hotel owners should not make any money. Taxi drivers should not make any money. Cafe owners should not make any money. Every money should be made by the billionaires only. हम लोग billionaire बन गए, अब हमें trillionaire बना दो. God is only sitting for shit and filth like this. This is the rune stone called God. And God is talking to you. When this rune stone is in the reverse, it means war, fighting. And if you see the arrow is pointing to the left, what that means is looking into the past. If you are forever looking into the past, you will never live your life. You can never keep saying past में तो ये हुआ था, past में तो वो हुआ था, past में हमको ये बोल के गए थे. In the past our leaders told us this. You need to keep improving to have a good life. People refuse to live a good life. And then you will start fighting. Some shitbag, if he makes a rule called the 70-hour work week, they'll say, this is what he did to become a billionaire. Nobody gives a flying fuck about becoming a billionaire. People just want to live a good life. And they have more rewarding and good life without being a billionaire. Don't set bad examples. This is the meaning of the rule, reversed, pointing to the past. Don't make bad examples. This was the runestone discussion today. If you get an arrow, it's telling you use your common sense and goodness in the heart to improve the quality of life and learn to live in abundance.